Hi all, Susie from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. And some of you, if you saw the previous video, would see that it was a mail call for me, and I got a massive 5 kilo box of Australian pennies arrived. And just thought, I don't think we'll go through both these bags because, look, it's just a massive amount. And but I thought we'd just see if, at least see if there's any key dates. Now, there's certain key dates that you look for in certain coins, and with the Australian pennies, we basically produced them from 1910. It was our first currency in Australia, and pretty much came out from 1910, and then we finished. Our last one was in 1964. So key dates were after, a lot of them are in the teens, but there's a few other key dates. For example, I think everybody knows the most important date is 1930. Then you've got 1946, and then you've got all the other years that sort of like pretty much 1914, 15, 18, 19, 20, 1925. Most of the time it's due to the amount of the mintage. So, the lower the mintage for the coin, less there is of them, and makes them more collectible. And then you've got things like errors and things that come into it. One of my favourite is the 1952 Australian penny. The reason being I'm a collector of that is because there's at least 9 to 10, if not more, varieties with the number 2 at the bottom, which you find at the bottom of the coin on the date. So, for example, I'll just pick this one up here. See this one here, this is 1963. So 1952, pretend that's 1952 and the 2 on the end. How it's actually been, the die and how it's printed and minted. So many different varieties of the number 2. So that's something to look out for. And I love the 1952 because of that. It's a real challenge in working out which one it is and which variety it is. And some of the varieties, obviously, as you can probably understand, are more valuable because there's less of them. All right, but anyway, I'll start by just sorting out dates because to look at them closely, to see, I suppose, in some ways what is there in regards to varieties and things. That's going to take a long time, and obviously from that point of view, from a video point of view, it would just be impossible. So at the moment, usually that's what I like to do, and before working out the quality of the grade, and that is pretty much just to have a look and see what I can find in relation to those specific dates. But I got this 5 kilos from an antique dealer in Australia, and he got them posted to me, and I paid a reasonable amount, so go from there. Now, so I'm expecting to actually find pennies in the teens, going from, for example, 1910 or 1911, even right up to 1964. So everything should be here, probably all sorts of grades and everything. I think this has come from some estate. All right, so this is a 1943. So at the minute, it's not one of the key dates, but we'll start it off. Okay, so all right, so 1940. So basically, what we might do is we might have to go piles of 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s at the moment. So, because otherwise it'll take forever. Okay, can always later on come up with what I found. So this is a 50s. Alright, so 50s, and there's one from the 40s. Okay, here's another one from the 40s, 1945. Now, with an Australian penny, on that particular point, I'll just bring out that there's 2 reverse pictures, but pretty much just with this, we had, obviously, as you know, 2 different kings, and then actually 3 actually. Up to 1910 we had King Edward. Then he died, obviously. Then we got George V, and then we've got George VI, and then we've got Lizzie, who obviously became Queen. George VI's daughter in 1953. So basically these coins will have we might find coins with all the different royals on them. So that's interesting, isn't it? All right, but anyway, and also we have 2 different reverses. When King George VI came in, took over from King George V, They changed, and we got this Australian kangaroo on the front. But before that, we sort of just pretty much just had it dressed, you know, saying it's a 1 penny. So actually, there's one just there. I'll pick one up. All right. So there's the prior reverse, and then the more current one, obviously, went up to 1964 with the kangaroo on it. Okay. So there's our older one. So basically, you see that, you go, "Oh, that's an old penny." Okay. All right. So since we've got these 2.5s, alright, that's a 43, not a key date, guys. I'll put that in that lot. What's this one? A 1917. Oof, it's old, isn't it? But not quite the key date, but anyway, let's go and put it in. Alright, so we've got 50s, 40s, alright, teens probably over here. Alright, they're just at the back here, guys. If I find any key dates, you know I'm going to yell. Alright, here's one of my faves, 1952. Again, I said to you before about 1952's the number 2. So, the number 2, having a number of different varieties. Not everybody knows about it, but I do. And that makes it collectible, different varieties. Alright, something else to look out for. Okay. 1948. What else have we got? 1952. So if I won't do it now, but I'll do it next time. But if I held them up together, you never know, we'll probably find that the 2 is different. Alright, what else have we got? 951. 1964. Okay, so I'll just turn it over and I'll show you the different advance. And there we go, Lizzie. Quite a young Lizzie there. So she took over in 53, and I think it's a nice picture of her. That's actually a nice coin, isn't it? Okay, 1964, 64. I think I'll just put that over here, guys, way over here. Ooh, this one's a bit grotty and whatnot. I can't. Let's have a look. See if I can. Don't think I can, guys, but I think I can just see a 4. All right, it's in the 40s, 1948. All right, goes in that pile. Ugh. Sorry, I just got a bit grossed. 1952. As you know. One of mine I look out for. Oh, look at that one. Alright, look at that. One's got some shine and gloss, eh? 1942. That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because obviously, as you know, the better condition, the more valuable. 1942. Alright. 40s. Here we go. Again, 1951. 1952. Alright, let's keep going. 1943. 1943, 1950. You might help me keep an eye on these. 1959. I've got a feeling when I come across a key date, I might miss it with the amount that's here. Alright, 1948. 1948. What do you reckon of this for a noodle? Oh, wrong one. Over there. Australian pennies. What's that one, guys? 1943. Weird burgundy colour on it. Oh god, what's this? A bit of paint or something? 1948. Well, they're old, aren't they? Alright, 1950. Alright, what's this one? 1919. Did I say 1919? Interesting. Did I say 1919? In my key date list? I think I did. Okay, so what we might do is anything that's a possible key date, we'll just put it over here. Alright, way over here. You can't see them, guys, but got to look for space here. 1952. Yes, I like that one. 1961. Here. Alright, 1950. And again, that one looks okay, doesn't it? That's the George VI. 1952. Alright. 1952. The way we're going, we seem to have a lot of as you can see, a lot of the later coins. I'm worried about the early ones, but anyway, 1920. Go on. 8, I think. Okay, we've made a team pile. Do I go 20s pile now? Okay. What else have we got? 1952. So as you know, it's one of my faves. 1943. 952. We're going good on 952, that's for sure. Alright, 19. Ooh. Guys, I think we've got a key date here. It's a 1933 penny. If it turns out to be the variety that's called overdate, so there's a key date called 1933 overdates where the 3 is pressed in over toe. So we'll put that aside again with that other 1919 one for a little bit checking later. But if we've got one and it's in really good condition, okay, actually there's the verse, guys, and that's the previous king. So far you've seen George the Sixth and you've seen Lizzie. So here's George the Fifth, okay, and look at that with that big royal picture with the crown. A little bit different to George's casual photo, huh? Okay, next. Kangaroos. Alright, 1943. Oh, we're getting a few of those too, hey? Alright. 1952, but that's in, look at the condition of that, I like that. Seems to be quite good. See, there's the picture of George the Sixth. You can see quite a bit more casual, but look at the nice shine on that one. So we'll put that over with those other 2 collectible ones, key dates. Alright. Okay, 1964. Wow, that's in brilliant condition, isn't it? Okay, you can go over there with the 60s. 52. 1948. Now, I just want to show you guys actually one of the things. Look, there's my palm. Look at the size of the penny. Imagine carrying these around in the old days, in your pocket and that. Quite big. You'd probably wear out your pocket too. So nothing like compared to a 5-cent coin or a 10-cent or a dime or something, pence. Anyway, that's a 44. 52. 64. I'm not sure why. I think it was just the amount that were printed. 1964 was the last year of the Australian penny. Obviously, you know, you have to get them in unk or unconditional or have an error or something like that for them to be valuable. Because even though they're the last, it was a large mintage. Okay, what have we got here now? 48. Getting close to 46. What was it? 44. 52, 50, 52, oh geez, I'm starting to get quick now, aren't I? 43, 48, 50, and this is only the first bag. 57, it's a different year, isn't it? 57, don't even know if I've ever had one. Alright, 43, 51, Lizzie, look at that weird colour on that one. Makes me wonder if, like, someone's put a flame to that one on the left-hand side. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It makes it look real bronzy, doesn't it? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's looking really, it's quite good condition, though. But amazing colour, isn't it? Like, compare it to, I don't know, we'll just pick up, here's another kangaroo, for example. Strange, isn't it? Alright. Okay. 52, okay, 43, 48, 52. Okay, I actually do have quite a good collection of pennies and half pennies, but these key dates elude me because obviously they probably get an idea of how much they cost to actually buy that. Now that's another gorgeous looking 50 toe, good condition. His hair's nice and combed. So I'll put that one aside. But basically the 1950, if you get the 1930 penny, you'd like $27,000. So I couldn't afford that. But if I come across it one day in my pickings like this, and you never know, it can happen. I'll be quite grateful. Now this is our first one in the 30s, so I'll put that one little pile over here. Okay, folks. Alright, what else have we got? Oh god, sometimes 43 again. 44. Look, you don't know what you're going to get at the moment. There are certain years you can probably see that was 52, 59. That you don't know what years you're going to get. It's quite a mixed bag, as you can see, and you know, I didn't get to see the coins beforehand, didn't get to, you know, oh, I'll just have these date, you know what I mean, all these ones in this condition. Doesn't work that way, does it? Otherwise you've got to pay a premium. And I didn't pay a premium, put it that way. I'll give you an idea, you guys. Posted to me for these 5 kilos. So arriving, this is 58. Look at that different colour. Look at that. Bronzy and coppery and all that. You can see sometimes what happens with the mixes back in those days. So different years the mix was slightly different, but pretty much most of it was copper. But then they had a lot of tin or a couple of other metals like aluminium or things like that. And sometimes, you know, when you mix them, obviously when they go and get printed and minted and so forth, sometimes over time some of those mixed colours will come through because it hasn't been mixed the same way. And then sometimes that's because of the weight of the metals that go in the mix. But so you can see, look at that, isn't that beautiful, eh? Isn't it? I think it's quite stunning. Something like that, you know, it's a 1958, but, you know, necessarily, you know, not one of the valuable key date day, but look at that, I mean, I still think that, you know, it's worth collecting pennies, coins and so forth. That's 44, that are, you know, the good years. I mean, if they're in high quality grade like that one was, this is a 44, look at that with a burgundy sort of tinge to it, a bit of pinky burgundy. You know, I still think they've got have some value. Unfortunately, look at this one. You see that bluey bit? That's what's called coin cancer. Anyway, let's turn it over. 1915, and that's one of our key dates. Anyway, you know yourself, condition is condition. We'll have a closer look at that one later and see whether or not we can get rid of it or not. So, yeah, and that's one of our key dates, unfortunately, with that little bit of... Anyway, okay, 1952, over here, 1940 each, okay, 1952, you get the gist of what's happening anyway, guys. Like you can see, you can, just if you had a big bundle of, I suppose, Indian pennies or US dimes, or, you know, you had 50p and 10p coins from, you know, England here, you're going to try and get the best deal and the best price. 47, that's getting close to a 46, isn't it? 50. You know, you're going to try and do it like this, buy a bit of a bulk, and you know, get a mix of coin. That's the best way to sort of be able to pay for it, save yourself a bit of money. And look, not just that, if you pick out the coins that you want and then the ones that you don't want, that, I mean, there's going to be a market for, you know, especially with these, you know, like pre-decimal coins, that people are going to want to buy. Oh, guys, look at this one. This one's got a rainbow to it. Finished now. Certain, again, going with regards to that mix and so forth, and it is known. This one's a 1963. Can you guys see that copper tinge? It looks like a... Look at that. It goes around. This one doesn't look like it's... Even though it looks clean, I think it hasn't been cleaned. It's just been kept well by somebody. And look at that with the rainbow going all the way around. Wow. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Look at that. How good is that? It looks like a serving platter currently of what you'd find a copper plate to look like today, wouldn't you? I really like that one, guys. It's one of the ones you come across every now and then that's just a bit of a stunner. Got to be happy when you get stuff like that in a bag, don't you? I mean, it's almost unconditional. Yeah, I might put that over with those key date ones that we've got so far. Alright, guys, this is going to go on for a while, so I probably may not run this video all this time because, you know, it's going to look pretty mundane. You're going to go, oh, she's just flicking coins here and there and so forth. So the amount of coin here is... you know, and then we've still got this other bag, so not having made, you know, I don't even think anywhere near the amount of depth that I want it now. Okay, here we go again. 1962, great copper finish. Look at that with Lizzie again, another nice one. Not a key date though. sometimes again, the condition, there's always going to be a buyer out there for someone who also that wants a coin that may not be a key date and so forth and doesn't have a lot of value. But just, I think with anything these days, there are people out there that will collect something that someone, maybe it's someone that what's considered someone else's junk. But, with these, I just, look at that one. How's that? A dark coin. Look at that. It's really getting into what you call that, bronzy. Give you an idea. Look at this. Okay. It's George the Sixth, so I'll grab another one. George the Sixth. Look at that. I mean, extraordinary how they can differ so much, huh? A little bit different to the mix of a silver coin, isn't it? This one just happens to be dated 38, and that one's 52, but look at that. Pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? So that's our second coin in the 30s. 52, 50, 51. So you can see that just by looking at some of these coins, that, with the mixes of different metals, slightly how they can make a little bit of difference. Then you've got how they've been worn over the years, and depending on how they've been worn and taken care of can make a difference as to how much of the other materials other than just the copper come out in the coin. So at 48, that last one before that was 41. 43, it could make a difference as to how the coin looks today. So 1952, God, I'm winning on the 52s, aren't I? I'm going to have a huge collection. 52, 52, as you can see, there's been a real mix of conditions. Alright, here's our third coin in the 30s, 1938. Now, who did I say when and who was going to be on the back? There you go, it's George the Sixth. Yeah, I think he came in about 33, so... Alright, so he goes over in the 30s pile. Okay, next, 52, 51. I'm going to yell out and tell you when it's a key date, or if I find a 1930s penny or a 1925 or something. That was 1949. Now have a look at this. See, there we go, another one. By an example, 1945. So this one's got a lot of wear on it and so forth, but how many people have touched their hands has this gone through? But look at the colour of it. Okay, let me grab this coin next near it. Look at that. It's like a burgundy colour, isn't it, hey? See what I mean? Just little things like that make the coin even more interesting than, for example, the normal 1957. So, from that perspective, penny collecting can be quite wonderful and whatnot, because you've got the numismatic obviously values, and then you've got the low mintage years and things like that. But also you've got, just look at the coin, look at the metal, look at the colour, look how it looks today, and look back to the history. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice looking one, guys. Before I turn it over, let's pray that it's say 46 or something. But look at the condition of that one. Look at the planchet. Look at this. Yeah, look at the colour. I mean, it's going across ways. So probably a better look. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Alright, guys. Whichever year, it doesn't matter to me, but this is just going to be a beautiful coin. Oh, it's one of my favourites. It's a 1952, but look at that. It looks like, wood grain even, it's amazing. And look how old these are, 1952. Alright, keeping that one, putting that over with the good grade stuff, or the key date stuff. 1921, nice oldie. There he is on the back, George the Fifth. Now, it wasn't on our key date list, but I do like 1921 pennies, because it's actually one of the ones that I find sometimes with different planchet errors or different things that are sort of known to me from my collecting for the last 5 years and so forth, plus for errors. So I'm going to put that with the key dates. Alright, 1950. Look at that one though. It's like a chocolate brown lens. Look at that. This is a 50 and that's a 52. Look at the chocolate colour. You can see again another colour, different type of colour. 52. 52. Alright. Well, as you can see, this is going to go on for a bit, so, oh, here we go. 19. Well, here we go. It's our oldest coed so far, guys. It's got that chocolatey colour. It's a 1912 Australian penny. Ooh, 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 ooh. George V. So basically, as you can see, that's in quite good condition too, isn't it? It's still a bit of a lift, isn't it? There's still a bit of a... But usually judge it by what the value or the grading is. See the crown on the top there? Alright, I'll just get a little pen out. Normally there's, you can see, you know, like a set of what, jewels across the crown, and there's normally what's called faucets, and unfortunately you can't see much, so that brings the grading down because that's one of the highest points on the coin. But still, you know, it's in very good condition, and I just like the fact that, again, that it's a 1912. So, but yeah, it's not in our key dates, and the condition unfortunately missing, that I can't see his jewels on his crown, unfortunately brings that value down. So that's a shame, considering it looks real good, doesn't it? But it's just been worn down. It's been through people's hands. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen, isn't it? You're supposed to print a coin, 951. You print a coin and it's supposed to be used and spent. So 44. Alright, we might just end this as part 1 at the moment, because as you can see, there's a lot of coin here, and it's going and going. So what we might do is so just bring you back to over here. Alright guys, come with me. I hope I'm not making you sick. Alright, so at the moment what we've sort of just pulled out, even though we've got all those, we've got a few 952 coins over there. So this is pretty much what we've pulled out so far, which is good. Especially this one here, guys. The 1915 find. And that beautiful, where is it? That, oh, look at that with the rainbow. I mean, a coin with a rainbow, guys. It's like wish upon the stars, isn't it? Maybe I should make a wish tonight on the coin, put it under my pillow. Yep, but you know, as you can see, this is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, for coin collectors, we're not just chasing the dollar, are we? These are the finds that you hope for and look for, and sometimes it's luck of the draw. Alright guys, thank you again for being with us, and there'll be a part 2. Speak to you soon.